Assalamu alaikum. This is your very own Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum for Salam Radio 106.2 FM. It's such a delight to be back. I always think that I have a greater gap when I've gone away, actually, and I come back for these shows, but it really is therapy for me. I do feel that this is something that I look forward to every single week, and to be with all of you. I just feel that sharing with you all the things that I've learned in the way of good health is therapeutic, not only for me, but I hope that it's therapeutic for you as well. And with no further ado, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum. I am a GP in a general practice here in Peterborough, and I've been conducting or presenting the Body, Health and Mind show since 2015. And I was saying to my husband today as well that this is my place where it doesn't matter where I am in life, I will always stay with Salam Radio. I do. I adore the fact that this radio is built on such a positive ethos of building bridges, just spreading the positive message of Islam, because it has an Islamic ethos in it. And I really do hope that many of you that listen to these shows that aren't Muslim or don't practice Islam can find that it's for the greater good that these shows are presented. And we have so many wonderful shows that go on, and it's very important to me that I start off each and every show like that, because it serves as a poignant reminder, not only to those that listen to these shows, but those that aren't familiar with our religion, and the fact that a lot of us that portray information can do so in a healthy and positive manner, in the way of integration. I think that that's very important. We talk about integration a lot nowadays, so I think it's very important that we do that. But today my show is about, before I talk about the weather, of course, today my show is about the nutrients that we find within our diets. And on the basis of that, I want to speak about specific nutrients like our vitamins and minerals. And it was important to me because I always try to look at, I consult with hundreds of patients every week, and it surprises me the number of patients that do have deficiencies in essential nutrients, magnesium, vitamin D, iron, to name a few that are commonly found. So why do we have these deficiencies? What are the vitamins and minerals that are available? And what is it that we can do in terms of what's the benefit of each of them? What's the deficiency when we are subject to a deficiency of these vegetables and fruits, or dietary sources of these vitamins and minerals? What do we suffer? What happens to our body, and how can we combat it? So I'd like you to join me on this show, and I'd like you to ask me questions. So do either call me on 01733 602 133 if you want to talk to me about anything related to health. Pick up the phone, speak to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And also, you can text me on WhatsApp, which is 07411 191062. And of course, I'm about to share the live stream to Facebook Live, because we're on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on X, and on Twitch as well. So do join me. I'd love for you to think about this show, because I think that there's no use in me conducting these shows if you don't have any questions to ask. We have a lot of engagement. I think that it's important that we have this engagement, and it's a learning process. It definitely is. So I'd really like you to definitely, please, if anything, just pick up the phone or text me instead. Now, am I allowed to use the H word? You will ask me, what does the H word mean? Am I allowed to say it's hot? It was hot today, wasn't it? In fact, I was so pleased that it was hot. Obviously, very wary of the people that are vulnerable at this moment in time, and that are elderly, frail, small children, mothers that have given birth. I think that it's very important that we are all aware of, who it is that can be affected by this heat. So I hope that you've all been taking precautions. I think it's very important. So let's have a moment to think about how this heat has affected you. Have you been hydrating yourself properly? Do you have anyone at all who is frail or vulnerable and may be needing some help? I think that it's important that we look out for each other. And whilst we're looking out for each other, I think it's really important that you think about how we negotiate this heat. I remember when I was young, I don't remember summers being this hot, but we should be grateful that we have sunshine, and we should also be wary of the sunshine because, as you may or may not know, UV rays are a potent source of vitamin D, which is the vitamin that we're going to be talking about very shortly. So I hope that you've spent a constructive day. I know that the heat can make people feel very lazy. So let that not be a deterrent in enjoying the sun as well. Keep yourself cool. There are so many bits of advice that I've actually given on my own Facebook page, if you tend to follow me. If not, do give me a follow. I'll be able to update you. But mainly, it is going to be a hot day tomorrow. So there have been hot weather alerts, and I think I'll throw some of that advice in. And part of it is to drink plenty of fluids. Do not compromise on the amount of fluid that you have, because a good sign of somebody who's keeping hydrated is if they sweat and if they are passing urine. So if you're sweating and if you're passing urine, you're taking adequate amounts of fluid. At least you need to be aiming for at least 1.5 litres of water, which roughly equates to about 8 glasses of water. Dress appropriately. Make sure that you're wearing some light, airy cotton clothes that can allow your skin to breathe. Avoid wearing polyester or any artificial clothes or synthetic materials, because that can prevent heat escaping. Moreover, it will make you sweat a lot more, and that can lead to heat rash. Be wary of your children as well, wearing the right clothes, and make sure that they're not too tight fitting. Make sure that they are loose, and limit strenuous activity like exercising or going to the gym, for example. There are many people that would still like to go to the gym, and that's completely up to them. But in my opinion, I think it's important to be sensible about all of this. So do think about what you need to do to keep out of this heat. So one of those things is obviously keeping cool. And at nighttime, that is, I think at nighttime it's more difficult, isn't it? Especially when you're feeling hot. Do have a cool shower before you go to bed. Dry yourself off before you go to bed. Often we see so many people who tend to go to sleep with wet clothes. That's not good at all. It can lead you to sweat. It can lead your clothes and prevent your skin from breathing. It can lead to heat rashes. So make sure that if you are going to sleep and you do have a shower, do ensure that you are wearing or drying yourself off when you have a shower too. So going back now to my advice or my show about vitamins and minerals. So it's important in these days, and actually we have such a range of good fruits and vegetables available in the shops. So eating plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains and cereals, lean meats and reduced fat dairy products will give your body the vitamins and minerals it needs at the right level and in the right balance. So it's very important to think about that. And there are 13 vitamins in total. 8 of these 13 vitamins come from the B group of vitamins. So there is a vitamin B complex. So 8 of those are from the B group of vitamins. And vitamins and minerals are essential for your bodily function. And the reason why they're essential is because they help to fight infections, for example. They also help in wound healing. They also help in making our bones strong. And they also regulate our hormones too. However, too much of a thing can also be counterproductive. So they can also cause toxicity if they are consumed in a large amount too. So vitamins and minerals, they are essential nutrients, and they're also known as micronutrients. They are needed in much smaller amounts in our diet than the other nutrients, such as, for example, carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And do remember, alongside these nutrients, it is always important to have a healthy intake or recommended daily intake of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And we can't actually make vitamins and minerals in our body, so we have to get them from our diet. That is why they are classified as a nutrient, because we actually get them from outside our diet. And there are a couple of exceptions, such as vitamin D, because we don't necessarily, like I said at the beginning of the program, have to get that from our diet. It's actually gotten from sunshine. So exposing your skin to sunlight for at least 10 minutes every day gives you the required amount of vitamin D that you need, plus a very nice tan. I do like to tan skin. I think that it looks lovely. Now, when we talk about supplements, it's very important to understand that supplements shouldn't be used as a substitute for a healthy diet. If you're having your supplements and you're having a horrible diet, a very poor diet, and you're taking supplements, you're actually not really helping yourself. It is always better to have a healthy diet that allows for you to have a recommended daily intake. There are so many people that I see, and this is the truth, that once upon a time I worked, a long time ago, I had a meeting with one of our wonderful public health directors here in the city of Peterborough, and she said to me that the number of young girls that she had seen in the city who hadn't eaten a piece of fruit in months was a huge number. And it surprised me. So I think it's really important that you ask yourself, for those of you who are listening, young girls especially, and I'll tell you why I'm specifically talking about young girls. How many of you young girls or young people who are listening to this show right now have had an apple in the last 24 hours? It would be good if you were honest about this, because apples are an excellent source of fiber. They're also a very good source of iron. And because young girls and women menstruate on a monthly basis, they are prone to becoming iron deficient because of the loss of blood on their monthly period, and hence they become deficient in iron. So it is very important indeed, to make sure that you are supplementing yourself with the right foods in your diet that enrich your iron, that are iron-rich foods. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later on. So how would you actually know that you're getting enough vitamins and minerals? That's something that I'm often asked as well. So when you have a varied and balanced diet, the right proportions of food from the main food group should actually provide enough vitamins and minerals and the needs of most people in this population. And to achieve a healthy, balanced diet, the government has published something which is known as an Eat Well guide. And that shows us how much of what we eat should come from each food group. So it's important that we get to grips with that, because the Eat Well plate is a very good guide. It's the government's guide. It's known as the Eat Well guide, and it's got an Eat Well plate on it. That should tell you how much of nutrients and micronutrients you need in your diet. So do make sure that you refer to that. Google it. Google the Eat Well guide. It will come up with a guide of some sort that you can have a look at. Now, when we talk about key facts about vitamins and minerals, and this is something I love having conversations about dietary supplementation and how people can gain it, but it's also important to know the importance of them. They've got a range of functions within the body. vitamins and minerals do. They certainly have. And if we eat a healthy and balanced diet, like I've said, you will get all the vitamins and minerals that you need, except for vitamin D, because that is rightly absorbed by sunlight. If you spend 10 minutes of yourself in the sun, that's enough vitamin D for you. Supplements are sometimes recommended. So, for example, when children are aged between 6 months and 5 years old, they should be given a daily supplement containing vitamins A, C, and D. So between 6 months and 5 years old, they should be given a daily supplement containing vitamins A, C, and D. And then we have vegetarian and vegan diets as well. And I know that veganism has soared in popularity. And I've always been concerned about the fact that people who are vegan, which is a good health choice to have, don't get me wrong, people will make their own decisions about having a certain dietary choice. But people who are vegan tend to become deficient in vitamin B12 or the B group vitamins. So it's very important that you have your vitamin B12 or your B group vitamins tested to see whether you are deficient or not, because you are prone to, you're cutting out dairy. Dairy is a significant source of your B group vitamins. So it's very important that you're not actually deficient in these vitamins too. Now, there are some nutrients that are very difficult to get enough of if you're vegan, and that is, like I said, B12. So you don't really need vitamins and minerals in a very large amount in the body. So most vitamins and minerals cannot be made by the body, so they need to be provided in the diet. And as I said before, the body is unable to make these vitamins, so you need them to be sought from the diet. Now, requirements for vitamins and minerals vary for different groups according to age, gender, physiological state of the person, such as during pregnancy, where you need such as pregnancy, where you need a lot more in the way of nutrition, and sometimes due to a person's state of health. And I have a question. So welcome, Palm. So we have Mr. Palm Aurora. I'd like to give you a shout out. Very welcome to the Body Health and Mind Show. It's lovely to have you here. And you have asked a very valid question. How much D3 is needed for a 74-year-old? Now, that is a really important question. I am going to give you the answer to that, because every single adult needs to take a supplement of vitamin D from the autumn onwards. And I'm going to tell you exactly what the dose is. My recommended dose is 2,000 international units of vitamin D3 that you can get over the counter, and you can even get good vitamin D supplements from Amazon. So don't underestimate Amazon, because you can get some good vitamin D supplementation from there. But I'll give you the exact dose. So when we're talking about government guidance, we've already spoken about the Eat Well guide as well, but the government has also published something known as the dietary reference values for vitamins and minerals for different groups of healthy people. And there is evidence on low intake of vitamins and minerals in the UK population, although physiological evidence of deficiency occurs in fewer individuals. So a healthy, balanced diet should provide most of us with a sufficient amount of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that are required for good health, although supplementation is recommended only in some cases. The UK government recommends that all children, like I said, between 6 months and 5 years old should be given a daily supplement containing vitamins A, C, and D. And adults and children aged 5 years and over should consider taking 10 micrograms of a vitamin D supplement during the autumn and winter months. So, Palm, in answer to your question, in the autumn months, it should be 10 micrograms, but often vitamin D3 itself is available in international units. So that would probably equate to around 1,000 to 2,000 international units of vitamin D. So in answer to your question, for a 74-year-old, it would be around 2,000 international units, especially if they're not getting enough sunlight, if they're inside and they suffer from bony aches and pains. But it's always sometimes a good idea, especially if they are suffering from bony aches and pains, to get the levels of vitamin D tested by a GP first of all. Now, babies from birth to 1 year should be given a daily supplement with 8.5 to 10 micrograms of vitamin D throughout the year, unless they are actually ingesting more than 500 mils of infant formula per day. And children that are aged 1 to 4 should be given a daily 10 microgram vitamin D supplement all year round. The government guidance also says that all pregnant women trying to conceive or could become pregnant take 400 microgram folic acid supplement or a higher dose daily until 12 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, so it's important that we have a look at that, and it's essential. And things like vitamin D actually is one of my favorite vitamins, and I shouldn't have a favorite here on radio. You shouldn't have a favorite of anything when you're on radio, but I'm going to say that vitamin D is my favorite. The reason why it's my favorite is because it acts like a hormone. Vitamin D acts on every single cell on the body. I love vitamin D. I take a 4,000 international supplement every single day. And can you not see that I've been working throughout the day, and at the end of it, I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Well, I'm buzzing because I like being here and talking to all of you, but yes, I am. Vitamin D is, for me, the hero or the heroine of all supplements. So it's a king supplement for me. So I'm a big fan of vitamin D. So make sure that your vitamin D is properly dosed up and you're taking it in. Now, essential constituents of your body tissues, such as the calcium in your bone and fluids such as sodium, calcium, and potassium, and components of enzymes such as zinc or vitamin B12, involved in a diverse range of processes. And what they also do is antioxidants that prevent damage from free radicals, such as vitamins E and C. They prevent the damage. And vitamin D is the only pro-hormone vitamin. So I said it acts on every single cell of the body. Now, when we talk about different types of vitamins and minerals, you've got the water-soluble vitamins and then you've got the fat-soluble vitamins. So it's important that we look at the effectiveness of both. The water-soluble vitamins are those that obviously can dissolve and break down in water, and the fat-soluble vitamins are those that become easily absorbed within fat, or actually you can get some supplements that are liposomal in character. So there are the water-soluble vitamins are your vitamin C and your vitamin B, okay? And fat-soluble vitamins, these are stored in the body, in the liver and fat tissues. So those are vitamins E and D, okay? So there are dietary reference values, okay, that are given by the government in terms of how much an individual takes. And I don't want to have to go into it because it really is just quite a complicated thing. But what I'd like to do before we go into the next part is to talk a little bit about what each vitamin, what it entails, what its dietary source is, where you can get it from, and also what to do in order to try and prevent any disease from occurring. So one of the things I'd like us to talk about is deficiency of vitamin D and vitamin C, which is called scurvy and rickets. And rickets is something that is very prevalent in South Asian populations, so it's important to talk about it. And that's one of the reasons why vitamin D is my most favorite vitamin too. And clinical deficiencies of these vitamins can result from, in very many cases, some mild deficiencies in which you have mild effects, and in some cases they can be life-threatening symptoms. So when we talk about it, it's important to have to get an understanding of what each micronutrient is. And let's not forget our minerals like zinc, selenium, iron, magnesium. All of these are also very important as well. But we've got 45 seconds, now 50 seconds to the break. So when we come back after the break, I'll be talking about the various vitamins, the various minerals, what their benefits are, what their roles are in the body, the dietary source that they are found from, and also if we find ourselves with a deficiency, what is it that you could experience? So I think that this is all going to be really useful once we come back from the break. In the meantime, I really do want you to stay tuned with me on the Body, Health and Mind show. It's been a while since I've come back, but I've enjoyed being back. And once again, just hold on until after the break and we will come back fresh to start in the second half of the show.
If you have an idea for a show and want to get involved, email info@salamradio.co.uk.
At Cake Inn, all our cakes and slices are freshly baked for that delicious taste. At Cake Inn, we bake 100% vegetarian and halal eggless fresh cream cakes. Delicious flavoured cakes for birthdays and weddings, ceremonies and all other occasions, with free customised messages, even balloons and candles too. Order for delivery or collection from Cake Inn, 489 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PE, and your cake could be ready within 2 hours. Find out more and order online at cakeinn.co.uk or call 01733 496 584.
Are you a savvy shopper searching for the best food deals? Look no further. Adams Cash and Carry can help you save big. We're not just a food wholesaler for takeaways and restaurants. We also welcome household customers at our warehouse in Westwood, Peterborough. Visit our website and enjoy wholesale prices on everything from drinks to flour, rice to burgers and much more. To shop, go online and collect in store. Visit adamscashandcarry.co.uk today to start your savings spree. Bite into something wonderfully tasty at Big Mouth, 349 at Lincoln Road in Peterborough. Eating in for takeaway or delivery. Big Mouth now have a delicious new menu full of all your favourites. Crispy fried chicken, juicy smashed burgers, finger-licking peri-peri chicken, handmade pizzas, quality doner meat and so much more. So visit the family-friendly Big Mouth restaurant for fantastically fresh food. Call 01733 201020 or visit getbigmouthonline.com.
Attention foodies! Discover a world of flavours at Pack Foods, the largest ethnic supermarket in Peterborough. Shop our vast selection of authentic ingredients from around the globe, including spices, marinated fish and meats, and exotic fruits at incredibly low prices. And the best part? We offer free parking. No more hunting for a spot. Come visit us today and explore the incredible range of flavours at Pack Foods, 232 Lincoln Road.
For the top pizza in Peterborough, visit Top's Pizza. Established in 1988 for delicious pizzas with freshly made dough daily. View the extensive and mouth-watering menu online at topspizza.co.uk. Then choose from traditional tasty toppings, something different, or create your own with fresh 100% halal meats, salads, veg, and a great choice of sides too. Call into Top's Pizza, 52 Broadway, PE1 1SB. Call 01733 913 775 or order online for delivery or collection.
Whether you visit the Berry Furniture Showroom at 78B Fengate in Peterborough or view and buy online, you'll be amazed at the quality and style you could enjoy in your home. With beds from just £299 and complete 3-2-1 sofa sets from less than £1,000, you'll also be amazed at their wholesale prices too. Plus, there's a 1-year free warranty on sofas and beds, subject to conditions. Find out more, click on Berry, that's BERRE furniture.co.uk or call 01733 300 517.
Satisfy your cravings at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant. Enjoy a tantalising variety of Chinese, Italian, Pakistani and comfort food favourites, from starters to desserts. Kids under 5 dine for free, so bring the whole family to our restaurant at 63 Sycamore Avenue. Open every day from 5pm to 10:30pm. Call us on 01733 313131 or book online to reserve your table. Ibrahimi-restaurant.co.uk. Every bite Tonight is a delight at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Body, Health and Mind Show with Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum on Salam Radio 106.2 FM. And just before the break, I was talking a little bit about vitamins, minerals, what's fat soluble, what's soluble, why we need them for our body, and where we get it from. We obviously get it from dietary sources. We get the vitamins from the dietary sources. Just before I go on to the second half of the show, I think it's important to make you all aware that Maghrib Azan for the Maghrib Salah will play automatically at 8:36, which means that the program will tune out for a couple of minutes so that we can respect the call to prayer and the Azan. And I hope that you will join me in offering your Maghrib and also making dua for our fellow human brothers and sisters in the world, both Muslim and non-Muslim, and moreover for peace. So let's cut to the chase. Now, it'd be wonderful if you can ring me and call me on 01733 602 133, or you can text me on the WhatsApp number 07411 191062. You can comment on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. So how about we talk about vitamins in alphabetical order, shall we? Shall we? I think we should. So the first vitamin that we talk about would be vitamin A. I think that's the first letter of the alphabet, isn't it? For those children who are listening as well, is A the first letter of the alphabet? Of course it is. I think we all know that much. So why is vitamin A important? It's important because it makes your immune system work effectively, so it can fight disease and infections. So yes, vitamin A is very important. It also keeps our skin healthy. It's in a lot of skin products, including derivatives of vitamin A like retinaldehyde. I love talking about vitamin A in skincare. I think it's revolutionary and that we need to look a lot more into it, and research needs to be done. It also supports reproduction and growth, and it helps with vision as well, or visual entities, visual deficiencies. So food sources of vitamin A. There are different compounds with vitamin A activity in animal and plant foods. So plant foods can be easy to spot as they tend to have orange, yellow pigment such as beta carotene. And plant sources include orange and yellow fruit and vegetables such as carrots, red peppers, mangoes, would you believe? Vitamin A, I didn't know that. I did not know that vitamin A is in mangoes. Sweet potatoes, who loves sweet potatoes? I love sweet potatoes. Apricots, pumpkin and cantaloupe. There is abundant cantaloupe available nowadays on the supermarket shelves. There is no excuse for not having your vitamin A. So out of this list, if you add your leafy green vegetables, which is also a good source of vitamin A, such as spinach, peas and broccoli, I can't see how you cannot get your recommended intake of vitamin A. So your orange and yellow fruit and vegetables, just think about it. Carrots have plenty of vitamin A. So having 2 carrots a day, a red pepper, 1 mango and cantaloupe slices alongside either spinach, peas or broccoli, you can't go wrong. You've had your recommended daily intake of vitamin A. So that's your vitamin A done as well. Now, if you're a meat eater, liver, whether that's chicken liver or goat liver, is a very good source of vitamin A. Eggs are, and also you can get some milk that is fortified with milk products, which has added vitamin A inside it. So there's a real good variety out there for you to have your vitamin A. And because of the various roles that vitamin A plays in the body, deficiency can have several health effects. if you don't have enough vitamin A in your body, and that is you can have an increased risk of infections, you can have night blindness and irreversible blindness, which is actually known as xerophthalmia. And believe me, I've seen a patient who's had vitamin A deficiency and can't see at nighttime anymore, and excessive keratin build-up of the skin. So if you've got horrible rough skin and you're not eating your carrots properly, you know where that's come from. So we're then going to go on to vitamin B, and just to actually make you aware that the azan is going to play in approximately 50 seconds. So our B group vitamins help our bodies use the energy yielding nutrients such as carbohydrate, fat and protein for fuel. Some B group vitamins are needed to help cells to multiply by making new DNA. So you can see how important B complex vitamins are, especially if somebody has become unwell, and it's often given in developing countries to people who have just come out of hospital. And apart from B12 and folate that are stored by the liver, most B group vitamins can't be stored by the body, and they're found in lean meat, fish, whole grains, fruit, vegetables, and limits the intake of alcohol and processed foods. I'm coming back after the azan.
This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Maghrib Azan. This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
Assalamu alaikum, it's me again, Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum. It was a timely pause for the Maghrib Azan, for the evening prayers, or the sunset prayers, may I say. So if you are going to offer your prayers, please feel free to remember me in your prayers and your du'as as well as the whole of humanity. So just before the Maghrib Azan, we were talking about the B group vitamins that can't be stored by the body, and they're consumed regularly in a healthy diet that includes a range of whole foods such as lean meat, fish, whole grains, fruit, vegetables. And there are 8 types of vitamin B. That's why they're called a vitamin B complex. And they are vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, vitamin B7, vitamin B9, and vitamin B12. Now, I remember being quizzed as a medical student as to what's the name of vitamin B1? And we would think. Well, actually, vitamin B1 is thiamine. Then you've got vitamin B12 too. And what is that? Vitamin B2 is riboflavin. B3 is niacin. Then you have pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5. I'm getting quite good at this, aren't I? Then you've got vitamin B6, which is pyridoxine. And then you also have folate or folic acid, which is included in supplements, vitamin B9. And vitamin B12 is cyanocobalamin. Now, I remember having a conversation with my husband the other day. We were in the kitchen and we were asking each other, what's the name of, what's vitamin B12? What is it? What do you call it? And I kept on saying it was niacinamide. Well, actually it wasn't. It was cyanocobalamin. Niacinamide is, it is actually a sort of a derivative of B vitamins. But anyway, that's what the B vitamins are. There are 8 in number, and they are, if you don't have them for a long amount of time, you can become poorly or unwell, and it's important that you have adequate amounts of it. Now, let's come to the sunny vitamin. What's the sunny vitamin? No, it's not vitamin D. I call the sunny vitamin vitamin C. And the reason why I call it is because it always comes in packets that have got big sunshine or a lemon or an orange on it. So I find that quite strange, actually, why they would have a sunshine. Maybe that's just advertising or to make it appealing, because vitamin C is very yellow, orangey looking in a way, because it becomes oxidized very quickly. And a dietary intake of vitamin C is essential because the human body cannot make this vitamin from other compounds. We also need to have vitamin C as a regular part of our diet because the body cannot store vitamin C for very long at all. And vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is important for many metabolic processes, including collagen formation. So those ladies who are worried about aging, I'm not. I'm forever young, and I'm going to stay forever young and beautiful. That's being a bit pompous and wishful thinking. But yes, I do believe in aging gracefully, as it were. And if you all want to age gracefully, whether you're men or women, then having vitamin C will preserve the amount of collagen that you have and also cause collagen production as well. And it's used in different ways throughout the body. So collagen is a binding. It's a binding element. So what it does is it makes everything look firm and, pert. So the cheeks in your face are held up by collagen, the fat pads in your face. So the body also relies on collagen to heal wounds. So it helps to strengthen the skin, the bones, and actually the vessels as well. The other function of vitamin C is the antioxidant function. And the metabolism of oxygen within the body releases molecular compounds called free radicals. And free radicals damage cell membranes. And antioxidants are substances that destroy free radicals. And vitamin C is a very powerful antioxidant. Vitamin E as well is also a powerful antioxidant. But I will talk to you about that when we get to vitamin E, because we're going in alphabetical order, if you remember. So we're only going to talk about vitamin C for now. Then we have iron absorption. So the process of iron absorption is aided by vitamin C, particularly non-heme iron found in plant foods such as beans and lentils. And infection fighting, the immune system, particularly cells called lymphocytes, require vitamin C for proper functioning. And in other roles, vitamin C is also used to produce other important substances in the body, such as your neurotransmitters. So vitamin C is very important. It has a very vast portfolio of effects in the body. It is very important not to underestimate your vitamin C. If you can have 2 large oranges on a daily basis with a handful of blueberries, that is your vitamin C recommended daily intake. It's not difficult. You just need to know how. Now, 45 milligrams is what is needed by adults of vitamin C. And any excess amount above 200 milligrams is secreted by the kidneys into the urine. It's sensitive to heat, so some of its nutritional benefits can be lost when you cook this or cook any food that has a high content of vitamin C in it. Raw foods are more beneficial as dietary sources of vitamin C, and these include fruit, such as oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruit, blackcurrants, mangoes, kiwi fruits. You can have tomatoes and strawberries. These are all rich in vitamin C. And vegetables, such as your green vegetables like cabbage, again, bell pepper, very good source of vitamin C. Brussels sprouts. You know, I love Brussels sprouts. I have so many people who moan about Brussels sprouts. I absolutely love them. I think that they're wonderful. They taste great. Lettuce, cauliflower, and yes, potatoes as well. Potatoes also have some vitamin C. So it's important that you up your vitamin C intake, especially nowadays. Vitamin C also carries iron to become absorbed. So having your vitamin C, especially young girls who are listening to this, cannot underestimate vitamin C. Now, what can cause a deficiency of vitamin C? Those, if you have regular unhealthy eating of food, like your takeaways and your chicken and chips and your fish and chips and all of that, don't do it. Burgers, it's not good for you. Then if you have any crash dieting, especially being on diets that exclude certain food groups, being malnourished due to inadequate care, very strict allergy diets can cause a deficiency of vitamin C, because there are people that might display an allergy to citrus fruits, for example. Having an eating disorder. And smoking, can you believe? Smokers actually need more vitamin C to cope with the extra stress on their body. It's not good for the immunity. It is not good at all for the absorption of vitamin C if you smoke. So think about that. This might just be an opportunity to stop smoking. Scurvy symptoms. So scurvy is a disease that used to be very prevalent in Victorian times here in the United Kingdom. And scurvy is quite easy to treat. You hardly see it nowadays, but fatigue, loss of appetite, nausea, you can even get diarrhea. You can get fever with scurvy, you can get painful joints and muscles, and small pinpoint bleeding around the hair follicles, also visible in the skin. So that is what is needed. Now, if you or someone you care for is at risk of vitamin C deficiency, please ask them to go and see their GP. You can't test for it, but it's a clinical diagnosis of scurvy, although very rare. Now we come to my most favourite vitamin, and that is vitamin D. I'm really excited about vitamin D. I don't know why I'm so excited about it. Vitamin D does everything. It really does. But that doesn't mean you go overloading yourself on vitamin D. So don't get too excited about it. But I do, because I know the benefits of vitamin D. And I really wish that I want to share with people the excitement of vitamin D and the wonderful things that it can do. So vitamin D is very important for strong bones, teeth, muscles, and your overall health. Like I say, it is the only pro-hormone vitamin because it helps with our hormones. And when your skin is exposed to UV light, it produces vitamin D in the skin, and it's actually the best natural source for vitamin C on the planet. Regular physical activity, believe it or not, also assists with the body's production of vitamin D, but the body can only absorb small amounts of vitamin D. Always remember, when you go out in the sun, make sure that you're using daily sun protection, especially when the UV index like today has been high. Use factor 50 sunscreen, nothing less than that, because of the risk of skin cancer developing if you expose yourself to excessive levels of sun. Now, where can you get your vitamin D from? From oily fish, from fatty fish such as salmon. Who likes salmon? I love salmon. From eggs. Margarine and some milks have added vitamin D. So when you start off, and for those of you who've got children, remember that they should have a good peak bone mass early on in their life to tell us that they are having adequate amounts of vitamin D. So yes, supplementing them with their dairy, with milk, with cream, with cheese, with butter is very important, so that children get peak bone mass. Because if you have a deficiency of vitamin D, you can have decreased bone density in adult life, which can cause a condition known as osteoporosis, which is brittle bone disease. You can get falls and bone fractures, especially for older people, and rickets in younger people, which is a preventable bone disease. So if you get any of those deficiencies, improve sunlight exposure, diet, exercise, and vitamin supplements can also help with vitamin D. If you've just tuned into the show, this is Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum for the Body, Health and Mind Show. And I would greatly appreciate if you ask some questions. We had Mr. Palmer Aurora who asked some wonderful questions. And I have some people that are also asking me. But before I go on to those, I'd like to talk a bit about vitamin E. It's an antioxidant. I say it's a powerful antioxidant. Just like I said, vitamin C was an antioxidant. And it helps protect your body against damage from exposure to cigarette smoke or radiation. It's important for your vision. It's important for your immune system. And it's also important for your skin. So if you're thinking about where to get vitamin E from, you can get vitamin E from meat, such as liver, from egg yolks, leafy green vegetables, nuts, seeds, your healthy oils, such as extra virgin olive oil, sunflower and soybean, and unprocessed cereals and whole grains, such as wheat germ. Now, vitamin E deficiency is rare, but can happen in people with diseases that cause fat malabsorption, like cystic fibrosis. And that is why it's important to have adequate vitamin E levels. Now, we are going to the last 3 minutes of the show, and what I'd like to talk about are some minerals. So calcium is an essential mineral. It keeps our bones strong and healthy. If we don't get enough calcium, our bones will eventually become weak. Food sources are obviously milk, yogurt, and cheese. Let's talk about a mineral called iodine. It's essential to make up thyroid hormones. These hormones control our metabolic rate and every single chemical reaction in the body, and they also help with our brain and body grow and develop. And the food sources of iodine are seafood, seaweed, eggs, and vegetables. Iodine can also be found in iodized salt, and all brought breads, apart from organic, in Australia are fortified with iodized salts as well. Other than that, they're not. Breads here in the United Kingdom, I don't think are fortified with iodine, but I would need to check. Now, iron is very important. This is the last one I'm going to speak about because our young girls who menstruate on a monthly basis are almost always deficient in vitamin D and iron. And I cannot stress this enough that you can replace your iron deficiency with diet. If you do not do that and you rely only on medication, depending upon whether your cycle is too heavy, because sometimes there are some young girls that have very heavy cycles, it can sometimes be helpful to have a supplement. But in most cases where diet is poor and you're having heavy periods, it's very important to have iron. And iron can be found in red meat, fish, poultry, legumes such as dals and lentils, eggs, and breakfast cereals with added iron. Please, please, please have your iron. Magnesium is another one. It's brilliant. It's found in nuts, dark green vegetables, seafood, whole grains, even in chocolate. Well, I don't mind, but I need to have some dark chocolate because I'd put on weight if I had the other chocolate. And there are so many other minerals. So do remember to think about your diet. Prevention is better than cure. And with that, the show has come to an end. It's been an absolute delight to be with you today. And I will hopefully see you next week on another Body, Health and Mind show with your very own Dr. Shabina Asad Qayyum. From me, it's Assalamu Alaikum.